Hi, I'm Misty Mitchell.
Rachel Coleman.
Selena Conkle.
And we are the Truth Unhinged girls.
Alright. Now, tonight we're going to show you guys a few videos and get your outtakes on them and see what you guys think about them. Robert, want to go ahead and pull those up?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and show them a little bit of the captured footage that was retrieved from the ISS films. This is very close from a spacecraft that was recently in the air. This is taken in January 2016, and this is regarding the Black Knight project. Alright.
Henrik, you know what to do? Yeah. Of course, on zero, but
See the object?
Can you see it, Rachel?
Let your studies with that deal with it.
So what do y'all think of that?
What do you guys think that is?
not another spaceship from another creature from another world, for damn sure.
Alright, what do you think?
I don't think it's a spacecraft.
I think it's photoshopped. I don't think it's photoshopped. I'm just saying, I believe that it was actually man-made from one of the other governments. Due to the fact that, for one, there have been secret projects, as you want to call them, in the works for years amongst different government agencies.
And there's different countries up in space besides just the United States. There's Russia, and I even think China has one up there. So I mean, what's to say that that's not something from one of their space stations?
Alright, so, I mean...
What about you, Selena? Photoshop?
What government do you think did it?
It's hard to tell. I mean, Japan has one of the best technologies in the world. Russia has one of the most secretive governments. Hell, for all we know, it could be Africa finally coming into the fray of technology.
Finally entering the race.
Alright.
I mean...
The sphere ship.
Yes. Alright.
We got another clip for you guys. This is another interesting one that's been going on lately, throughout multiple years since the 2000s.
Yeah, it is supposed to have started in what, 2003?
Or two, one of them.
And it's supposed to have been going on around the world for since then.
Yeah, up till now.
And then it just stopped. So, you guys tell us what you think of this one.
And these are the mysterious sounds in the sky heard all over the world.
The ones where they sound like trumpets.
Yes, they're supposed to have been heard from one end of the earth to
You
the
hear
other.
it?
It's just that. Did you all hear that?
No.
Okay, let me turn this
Hold
off.
on.
I'm hearing, looking out my window right now, team, and it's fucking loud. You hear that? You hear that shit?
Yeah, do you hear that shit?
Now, that was going on all over the world. There's different cases. They're all time-stamped at the same time all over the world. And it's supposed to be heard from the skies. Now, what do you guys think about that?
Why did we never hear it?
Exactly. If this is truly the case, then why in the world didn't any of us ever hear it?
Now,
And if this has been going around since 2000s, then everybody in the world would have heard it, including us. And I've never heard it. Have you ever heard it?
I've never heard it.
Have you ever heard it?
Nope.
well,
Then again, if you think about it, Art Bell actually had a video like that where it was sound of people who supposedly drilled too far into the ground and reached hell. Turns out it was all a hoax anyway.
yeah, you're talking about the Sounds from Hell, the
Yes, the
Halloween tape that they played on the radio to make it seem real.
Right.
Now, so you guys think it was fake?
Of course, there's no way it could be heard all around the
Now,
world
there's-
and not everybody hear it.
There's also people saying that it was from a movie, that sound was from a movie, and it was a video that went viral, and people had started doing it all over the world to make it sound like it was real.
It sounds like something from freaking Independence Day.
Alright, another question we have for you guys
Yeah.
is,
It's not from Independence Day, it would be from World of the
Here you go.
Wars.
What do you guys think was the true purpose of the pyramids?
The true purpose of the pyramids were that they were tombs for pharaohs.
Is that what you think?
Well,
Nothing
that's
else?
what I know.
That's what we know, but I think maybe it was a secret meeting place for higher ups back then, maybe.
well, now, see, there's also video circulating the web about the whole future battery cells. Have you guys seen that?
No,
I
what
watched
are you
it
talking
with you
about?
guys.
There's a device they call the Baghdad battery for you guys at home that want to look it up. And basically what they found was very early age battery, about the size of a pottery vase. And these were found all around several pyramids and other large structures like that. I believe them to be power cores from back in those times.
What were they used for?
Well, we don't know, and also about the pyramids, there seems to be an extreme amount of magnetic energy. Some people speculated that between the batteries and the structure and the materials used for the pyramids, it was some kind of magnetic feed delivering power upwards.
Let me give you this little tidbit of information that most people don't seem to realize either. What is the material that the pyramids are made out of?
Limestone.
Wrong. It's actually concrete. See, back in the days that the pyramids were created, they knew how to make concrete. Sand, straw, water. It isn't until about maybe 100 years ago that concrete has actually been credited to being created. But yet, thousands of years ago, these people knew how to make concrete. My dad has a theory, and honestly, I agree with him. I believe over the years, people got stupid before we gained intelligence with technology.
Selena, how do you feel about that? Would you like to comment?
Not really.
Now, here's a question. Do you guys not find it strange that these amazing structures are all over the world and somehow also alike, even though they were millions of miles away from each other?
I think that the pyramids were made by different royalties, basically to see which one could build the best, I guess you could say.
Now, do you not find it strange that people have searched these pyramids?
I know that people have searched the pyramids and took out, like, because when pharaohs were buried in the pyramids, they were buried with all of their treasures and their riches. People have gone in there and desecrated their graves, took all of their riches and everything that they ever had, and I find that kind of strange.
Well, see, the truth is that most pyramids, they never found tombs in. They were just structures built there.
But if you actually took the time to actually study the concept of a pyramid, pyramids had multiple chambers to deter tomb robbers, grave robbers.
The graves of the actual pharaohs, the tombs, were hidden beneath the pyramids. That way that they couldn't be dug up and found.
Not to
But
mention,
also in the main chamber of most pyramids were these Baghdad batteries they were found in. Now, how did they have the knowledge for such a great structure that held electricity? How did they
Well,
know
I
that?
don't even know what a Baghdad battery is.
Alright, here's another question.
Maybe.
hold on. Before you ask this, let me ask you this. How is it that a 5th grader knows how to light up a light bulb using just a potato? I mean, it's all in science. And there was science way before we even thought of it. I mean, like I said.
Do you think that they got their ideas from the mines? Do you think the mines sort of helped them out? Because
If
the
you
mines
think
were
about
way
it,
advanced
I-
for our time.
I actually believe that the Egyptians had the knowledge before anybody else. And then over the years, through conquest and conquering, you know, eventually other races and other cultures picked up on certain things. For example, the whole calendar thing, where everybody thought the end of the world was going to happen on the December 21st, a few years ago. Well, the only reason why it stopped like that was because the Spaniards came in and bred out all the Mayans. So who's to say that Mark Antony and Caesar didn't end up in Egypt and on his conquest of conquering the world took the technology from Egypt and take it to the mine?
Now, do you believe that all the mines were killed?
No, I believe they're either bred out or killed.
Now, here's a question. How can they find a T-Rex's whole body from toe to head, but still not find one bone from a mine? How is that possible?
Well, like I said,
It's all geological.
it's all geological for one thing, like she said, and two, the whole concept of it is dinosaurs were just animals. They were never buried or anything like that. The Mayans, like I said, they didn't die out, they were bred out.
Do you believe that if we searched most of these pyramids better, that we would find bodies in the pyramids?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Do
believe
you think that we could find other things, like strange things?
Well, yeah.
Well, when you go into these pyramids, if you want to go based on what movies say, there's always a treasure room, but on the way you have to endure all of these booby traps and
Sorry about that, guys.
tricks and everything else just to get to these treasure rooms. But I do believe that if strong-minded people was to go into these pyramids, that they would be able to find the treasures and the bodies of
Now,
earlier pharaohs.
what do you think about the alien spacecrafts that were found in the hieroglyphics?
I believe that there was something. I mean, you gotta understand, these are back in the times when they thought, you know, creatures existed, like different types of gods.
And unicorns.
Well,
I mean,
don't you think it's a little selfish to say that we're the only place in the world that has intelligent life forms?
I'm not saying that, actually. I actually strongly believe that in other galaxies there are other worlds inhabitable like ours, and that there is other life forms there.
They always say there's a
So you
parallel
believe
dimension.
that there is aliens, so to speak?
I don't believe there's the concept of aliens and space travel like they would have you believe in movies and videos.
So you don't think that they're little green men that walk around with their ray blasters and shoot at
Of course not.
She has the same concept
Now,
I do. I don't
if
believe
you-
they're little green men either.
What would they look like to you, from your viewpoint? What would you say an alien looks like?
An alien looks like a human being.
So like me and you would.
She's got the right idea.
Yeah, like me, her, him, you, her. I
They
mean,
do that. They do
I
that
don't
to
think they
disguise
look like
themselves. That way they're not known to be amongst the human race. They're doing this to gain intelligence of our standards. That way when they do attack, they have all of the knowledge and technology that they're needing to know to...
This is where me and her differ.
Uh-oh, debate time. Let's begin.
I do not believe that there are intelligent life forms out there wanting to conquer our world. I believe, you know, there's other worlds out there. I believe there's other people out there and other galaxies. But I don't believe anybody actually truly has the intelligence to create a Star Trek or Star Wars spaceships that travel in mere seconds. What would take thousands of years.
Now, how do you feel about what she just said?
I believe they're going to attack at some point in time. I do.
Now,
Selena?
come on, you gotta
Input.
give some answers. You gotta...
I'm just listening.
Show our fans at Project 26 you're thinking.
I
Let
am
'em know.
thinking.
Well,
That's why I'm being quiet.
get in on it. What do you think? Everybody has their own opinion, do they not?
Do you agree with Misty?
Yeah.
Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with both of us?
What do you think? Recently, you told our viewers that you do believe in aliens and that you do think that they're going to attack. Did your mindset change just because they said something different?
Not really, but I mean,
Then let us know. What do you think?
I don't think.
Well, we know you don't know. Nobody knows. We just want to know what you think.
Nobody has
What
known
is your
things for
theory?
centuries.
Like, I think that what Rachel is saying could be true, and I think that what Misty is saying could be true. Or,
In other words, she's indecisive.
yeah,
We need to cut
there
to
we
it.
go.
There's no way.
I'm indecisive.
Since we're on it, we need to go.
I'm not really sure.
Alright. Well, since we're on extraterrestrial beings,
I know
how do you
what
guys
you
feel about DARPA? Their
What?
decisions.
Who's DARPA?
Robert?
Oh, I asked him some question.
Alright. DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense. And they're responsible for the development of emerging technologies, mostly on the battlefield and stuff. But a lot of people don't know at this current time they're preparing to build a space-centered project right now, which, according to them, in their own wording on websites and such, anywhere you want to look, this project is designed to coordinate large-scale amounts of troops in a space environment for warfare up there, not on the planet. And all over the world there are large-scale satellites being prepped in coercion with this program.
Now,
Do you believe that they're wasting billions of dollars
Yes.
Yes.
no, see, here's the question.
preparing for something that's not going to happen?
They pulled many troops out of war to go work on this experiment. They're letting out $2 billion or more for this. Do you think it's really just for an asteroid attack? Do you think they're really wasting $2 billion to build that many weapons in the sky just for asteroids?
Maybe they have knowledge that we don't have. Maybe another country has threatened to attack us through air warfare, and it's just a precaution to protect us.
I believe that, you know, if they're going to waste perfectly good money that could be going towards the poor, the hungry, and the, you know, the desolate, then it better be a damn good fucking reason. The odds of an asteroid hitting are like 1 in a million.
Well, now there's another thing that I need to bring up. There's actually a very
Pluto.
large asteroid called Nibiru. And those of you at home can also look this one up. This asteroid is the size of the portion of Texas. And it's already did a revolution through our universe And NASA is currently awaiting its arrival here in a matter of hundreds of years, maybe. But they're saying that if it does impact, it'll be a extinction level event.
Like the dinosaur.
Right.
Suppose.
Now,
Well, this is confirmed. You can pull up anything you want on it. It's there. It's real.
now,
I mean, supposedly the dinosaur.
do you believe that this is supposed to be another Big Bang, so to speak, or what do you think this is?
Here.
Okay, I believe that if this is truly their main concern, I can understand creating a weapon to stop it.
But that's the problem. It's not just a weapon. It's
But
many weapons.
that is a little more extreme. That I do believe is just a bunch of stuffed shirts with major egos and big pride trying to outdo each other. Why other people are starving or, you know, running the streets, living on the streets because they have no place else to go. I mean, do you realize how many soldiers have fought for our country alone and are now living out in the street like they mean nothing to us?
So you're saying that basically they need to fix their priorities.
Yes, I do.
Now, how do you feel? What do you think?
Like I said, I think maybe the weapons is because another country has threatened to attack us through means of air, and they're just trying to build these weapons to stop an attack that could potentially hurt millions of people here.
Selena, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, I know this is going on link here, and it's not exactly what we're talking about, but it kind of is. I think that since Russia and all that has got the most nuclear warheads or whatever, what if they're trying to take them on air and figuring out a way to bomb us out? And then they take their
Now pause right there because
billion.
Rachel looks like she has something to say. Rachel?
Actually, Russia doesn't necessarily have the most nukes.
or China or one of them.
Actually, one of the most dangerous countries when it comes to warfare is neither. It is actually the Middle East. Because you got people there who ain't afraid to kill themselves in the name of their God.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, Selena, back to what you were saying.
Well, okay then, what if the Middle East is trying to figure out a way with their little nuclear warheads or whatever, and then we're taking our $2 billion+ and building that aircraft machine thing and trying to stop them from nuclear bombing us? Yes.
So sort of like a fallout.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of like her opinion, but there's one other thing that everybody should know. It's not our money. We are so far into debt that we owe China almost $5 million, if not more. Maybe a little less.
The government shut down for what was it, a day? So, I mean, how do you guys feel about this? Now they're using more money that they don't have to do things like this. What's your opinion?
I think the politicians need to all be taken out and beaten with fucking sticks by the average Joe. And I also believe that, you know, somebody just needs to say enough is enough and go into politics, remember where they're from, fuck Trump, fuck Hillary, fuck Clinton, fuck Bush, fuck all these politicians, our ex-presidents and our so-called presidents. I believe an average Joe, male or female, should actually run for president. Due to the fact that at least they would understand exactly what we are going through because they have gone through it as well. Instead of being born with a damn silver spoon in your mouth and thinking you know everything that the people need or want.
Now, your opinion?
On the government shutting down, I think it's a hot mess.
Now,
The government is a hot mess.
there's been a lot of
opinion
things
on
going
that?
around on. Oh, do you have an opinion this time?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
go
agree
ahead.
100% with Rachel on that one.
Is it just because she said a lot of stuff, or
No,
do you
I
actually
believe,
understand what she said?
yes, I believe that the average Joe person should go and show these.
Now, when you say
Politics.
average Joe, do you mean like a guy named Joe, or the average?
Why do you gotta ask it like that for? Like, I don't know, like your everyday person, like the one that's in poverty, or you know,
Now you
the
realize
people.
that half of America is in poverty.
I think what she's trying to say,
Yes, please explain.
since you got her all tongue-tied here, is, like I was saying, what we need is just an average person, male or female, who understands exactly what 90% of America is going through. Not somebody born with a silver spoon in their mouth, not somebody who can get $1 billion from their daddy to start up a company, not somebody who's only famous because her husband was a president and slept with a bunch of fucking women.
Or he fired a bunch of people.
Yeah, you know.
So we have 2 more questions before we
But there's
close out.
also a little something else. That average person, yes, but once they get there, not let it all go to their head. Oh, I'm high and mighty, I'm like a king, I'm going to start acting like one.
I think
That's where the whole do not forget where they came from comes from.
I think
Yes.
also that the government shut down because once these so-called presidents go into the White House, they're spending money on things that do not matter. So they're getting in over their heads. They're spending billions and billions and billions of dollars that on stuff that doesn't even matter, that isn't relevant to the American race. And then we get in debt, so they have to close down to figure out, hey, where are we going to get money from?
Well, do you realize that the president, the Senate, the Congress, and the rich people actually get really high paid salaries? And the people who suffer the most are your working men and women, and most of all, though, is your military. Soldiers do not get paid what they should for risking their lives to defend us.
No.
Well, since we're on the topic of soldiers, how do you guys feel that they use them while they've got them, and then once they're done, they just dump them out on the street?
I think that is so disrespectful to see so many soldiers that have fought for our freedom, for us to be here today, just get thrown out of the military and become homeless and starving and everything else. I think there should be a program to build
Do
houses.
you know that most veterans are homeless?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. They get treated like garbage once they're done serving for our country. That should not happen.
See, now, my great-grandfather on my dad's side, my grandfather on my dad's side, and my grandfather on my mother's side all fought as soldiers. My great-grandfather fought in World War I. My grandfather on my dad's side fought in World War II, and my grandfather on my mom's side fought in the Vietnam.
Desert Storm.
It's either Vietnam or Korean. I think it's Vietnam. Okay, but the whole point is, you know, I have all the respect for soldiers. I mean, yeah, even if they're young, stupid, and dicks nowadays, I still have respect for them.
Now, how do you feel that some of these people take pictures in their uniform just to show it off on social media?
I think that's just bull. I mean, that's just arrogance right there. I mean, if you're proud to be what you are,
You should have more pride than
you should have more pride than that.
than just showing it off and being like, hey, look, I got a uniform. You should respect that wholeheartedly because, you know, my grandfather served in a war and he actually got injured and had an honorable discharge.
Now,
So,
while I have you all here, how do you all feel about feminism?
It depends.
Do you think that women should be as, I don't know how to put this good.
Equal?
No, of course they should be equal.
Are you talking about extreme?
Yeah, should they be as extreme as they are about it?
No.
And then, do you think they should complain when they get the opportunity that they get?
I believe that women should have equal rights as men. After all, we can work just as hard as you all can, and we can do just as much as you guys can. Okay?
I think women should be respected because, I mean, we go out here, we bust our asses to work, we bust our asses to take care of our families, we carry kids for 9 months.
And then go through all the pain of actually having them
So
and raising them.
I think we should be respected just as equally as men because, I mean, we do go out here and we bust our asses and do what we're supposed to do for our families just as well as the guys do. But
Well,
I don't think that women that are a part of these feminist groups have to go as far as they do with always saying, you know, equal rights.
Well, they went as far as killing people just to prove their point.
I think that's just bullshit. I mean, that's about as fucked up as anything. I mean, that's just about as fucked up as anybody doing that. Men, women,
Yeah,
you better get it.
I think as long as we have the same rights and the same standards that men have, that everything is fine and it shouldn't be a protest after a protest after a protest, or these groups of women going out and shouting feminism, women need rights. I mean, we have the rights to vote now. We have the rights to work and everything else now. So, I mean, people should be happy about that because used to, we couldn't even vote. We couldn't even put our opinion on nothing.
Yeah. Well, see, another thing is, as for the whole extremeness thing, no, I don't believe that we should all go out and burn our bras and just bitch slap a guy for being a guy. I mean, hell, if it wasn't for guys, population would fucking dwindle. I mean, women have to understand that as well as men have to understand if it wasn't for us women, you not only would not have sex,
They wouldn't eat.
you wouldn't eat, or half the men in the world wouldn't even fucking eat. Like, my husband, for instance, as much as he tries, he can't cook for shit.
Thanks, baby.
Mine can't eat.
Like I was saying, I mean, there's men who can't cook, there's men who can't clean, there's men who can't do dishes or wash clothes. Then again, there's women who can't do any of that shit. I mean, honestly, I really can't stand these women who sit there and go, well, I want to be as equal as men. I can do what they can do. And then turn around when they get the opportunity and go, oh no, I can't do this. This is too hard for me. Oh my gosh, I broke a nail. You know, those women can just go fuck off because they're giving us, the rest of us, a bad name. Do you not agree?
I agree.
I agree.
Alright, next and final question is about the, what?
Never mind, just go.
What?
Well, I was going to say something about the whole soldier thing, but
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
they have started a program that helps the soldiers, but I don't know how much the soldiers actually get.
But no.
Well, see,
but that's not for every.
it's an organization that goes on donations, and the problem with the world is most people don't care.
And plus,
Yeah.
it's not all over the world, so it's not for every soldier. I think there should be a program for every soldier that comes out of the war to be sheltered and fed when they come out, not put on the streets and homeless and not hungry.
Vietnam.
And plus, not
It was
only
Korean
that-
War, he was in.
Gotcha.
And plus, not only that, I feel sorry for the ones that come home with the brain
PTSD.
thing. Yeah, that, and you know, all this, the flashbacks, everything. You know, they can't.
Well, that's because
They
they've
say
been
that
in
they
war
can't.
so long. War is the only thing they know.
War
And they
is-
just dump them off on the streets and expect them not to kill somebody, not to hurt somebody, not to
Exactly.
go into
I
a
mean-
home and murder people. That's what they were bred to do.
I mean, the least little bit of sound, like a big firecracker going off, that could send them right back into war, and God knows what would happen after that.
Well, see, now, the whole thing about that is not necessarily the fact that they've been in war too long or, you know, certain little things set them off. It is more the idea that unless you're a psychopath serial killer who gets his jollies off of fucking murdering people, the average person, if they have to kill somebody,
They're gonna be scarred.
especially especially a kid or a woman.
A pregnant woman too.
Exactly.
They have to kill pregnant women.
Most countries,
They're not over there killing people in just the Iraqi uniform or the uniform. They're killing men, women, children.
Countries will send children out with bombs strapped to them, and then the soldiers have to make
There's
a decision
people
whether to
walking.
kill that
There's
child
kids
or-
walking up and down the street, 12-year-olds with an AK-47 ready to blow your brains out. Because that's what they were
And then
raised to do.
And then you have to make a decision, and that's going to scar someone. And when they come home, they're going to have nightmares of that repeatedly. And that's what sends them into their post-traumatic stress disorders.
Exactly.
That's what triggers their screaming and their wanting to fight and stuff like that. Especially if they've been held hostage, because here recently there have been hostage situations, and once you're in one of those, I would be scarred for life. Every time I would close my eyes, I would be scared. I mean, that would send me into screaming and crying and wanting to fight and everything. So
now, here's our other question. Mind control of the government. What do you think about it?
I don't think it's, sci-fi.
I mean, of course,
they're
they're not putting little things in our head to make us do what they want. But do you think
are you asking if the government is trying to control us by everything that is going on?
Yeah, do you
Yes.
think that they're trying to control us using, for instance, what? Pokemon Go, you have a high look on that.
I actually believe, knowing what I know about it, even though I've never actually really played it except for that one time you introduced me to it, I believe even though, most people look at it as getting out, moving around, opportunity to spend time with family and stuff like that, I believe that somewhere, somebody came up with the idea to control your people. I mean, if you actually look, for those who do play it, look at your permissions. And think about it this way. After you read all the permissions you have to actually go through or accept, look at it this way, and I've seen this on Facebook and I highly agree with it. You have a app that accesses your phone, your location, all your data, your camera,
your mobile bank account,
all this stuff. It is a foreign country who created it, a foreign server that nobody really truly knows who did it.
Now, do you believe that this could be a thing of ISIS? Do you think maybe they could have had something to do with it?
I don't think it's that extreme. I just think that maybe, somebody out there decide, it could have been just a hacker. Honestly, if it wasn't for half the shit requires, I would actually enjoy it.
Hey, I'm worried about that, but you know what? I have 63 Pokemon, so I'm gonna roll.
The only way that you can truly make that safe is to keep all your important data, such as banking information and all that stuff, out of your phone. Shut your phone off when you're not using it.
But my look on the government is they do things.
Technical difficulties.
The government has done things to distract us from a bigger picture. I think that the government has something to do with all the riots going on, with all the shootings that have been going on. And I believe that the government is doing that to distract us from a bigger picture of things that they're doing. They're doing it maybe because of DARPA. Maybe they're doing it because I just think there's a bigger picture than what's really going on. Yes, all of the shootings and all of the killings and everything is horrible, but I think that's a product of the government. I truly and honestly strongly believe that it has something to do with the government.
Now, do you have anything to say about it?
I think Misty's right, and I also agree with Rachel.
Okay, now which parts of Rachel's argument do you agree, and then which part of Misty's? That's what we need to know.
I think that the government.
What Rachel says and what she says kind of conflicts each other, so you have to tell us which part of that you believe.
Well, even Facebook itself has a bunch of permissions that you have to go through before you even get on your phone, or before you even download it.
Now, Rachel, you use Facebook, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you not have a problem with the permissions? Because, like she's saying, technically the permissions for Facebook and for Pokemon Go are the exact same permissions.
Except, Pokemon Go, you have to give permission for them to remotely access your information and stuff. Facebook, you pick and choose what you allow them to have.
Have you not read the new permissions for Facebook?
Facebook uses your location at all times now.
They can remotely access anything they want on your phone at any time.
Facebook always has a location on you now. It locates you.
Facebook,
you update a status, it mostly tells
Messenger.
where you are. Facebook Messenger picks up your location, that way it can ping off
And
the data
as
towers.
soon as you hit accept, you're giving Facebook your personal information right away.
Well, see, now, this right here, all this information, just tells you how often I am on Facebook, because I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew that they did the location thing for mobile phones and stuff like that, but for the most part, I barely ever actually go on Facebook anymore.
Well, see, it gives them your social security number. If you have any credit cards linked to your account, they get access to that at any time. That's why they added, you know, how you can send money on Facebook now.
You can send money through
That's how they
Messenger.
added that.
It goes through your bank account, takes the money out, you enter your debit card number, and it sends it to the other person. And the other person has to take what you sent to them and load it onto a card. Now, how sketchy is that?
That is sketchy. That's just as sketchy. See, I didn't know that about Facebook because, I mean, the only time I really get on there is to contact my family or, you know, one of you guys if I don't feel like walking 10 feet across the street.
Now, here's the last question of the night. Area 51.
You know what? How many last questions have we had?
This is the last one. Area 51, how do you feel about it?
I don't believe it's an alien thing. I believe it's all top secret government projects.
What do you think they're working on?
I believe they're working on different types of weapons that they don't want nobody else to know about. I believe they're working on stuff like new aircrafts that, you know, are like beyond imaginable for the human
There's a debate about to break out.
I also believe that they are working on super soldier programs. I don't believe there's aliens.
There is a documentary that is a man who worked at Area 51. He worked there for 17 plus years. And on his deathbed, his last request was to tell people about Area 51. Now, this man had a lot of photographs about alien spacecrafts. He was telling people, you know, there were, in fact, aliens that worked there alongside them. And they helped build the stuff. They, you know, showed them about their spacecrafts, what they did. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a hoax. I think it's a hoax, honestly. Because honestly, when you are assigned to Area 51, for one, you're legally not allowed to leave. And two, you are actually signed to a confidential waiver. In other words, you can't tell nobody what happens to him.
If he was dying, it don't matter.
Actually, it does, because the government wanted to go after the people he told.
Well, see, here's the thing, and here's what me and Robert believe. We think that the government allowed it because, you know, there's so many people out there that are like you know. They think, well, you know, it's got to be a joke. There's no way he can do this. You know, people aren't believing this, but then there's like that 25% out there that are like, wow, you know, this actually makes sense.
Well, I believe what Rachel said is true, that Area 51 is used to build bigger and better weapons, bigger and better means of transportation, just things that we couldn't even imagine. Weapons that are going to wind up saving us in the long run. But I also do believe that there are aliens at Area 51. Not the green little tentacle aliens, but aliens.
Oh, why can't they have the tentacles?
Because that's only in the TV shows and the movies.
Now,
I like tentacles.
excuse it, we're having a bad storm because we're talking about spacecrafts and such, so the government's trying to shut us up.
And tentacles.
Oh, please. It's freaking weather. The government has no control over that.
You don't know
The
that.
aliens are not like Marvin Martian.
Oh.
The little green guy on the Looney Tunes. They're not like that.
Or, what was that little green guy? That little green Martian on Flintstones? Rachel?
Kazoo.
Yeah.
Now, Selena, as we close out, we need a Pearls of Wisdom.
I'll do a Pearls of Wisdom.
No, it's Project 26 has to do it. Pearls of Wisdom.
I want to give one. I gotta give
Alright, all three of y'all can give one. Project 26 is going first.
Go ahead, Selena.
I just gave one on Project 26.
Well, now you're giving one on the...
You guys should look that up so you can hear what she said.
You really don't want to, no.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just kidding. You actually do. But,
Go ahead.
I don't know. Do the whole Star Wars, be safe and prosper, or whatever.
That's
Okay.
Star Trek.
First
Star
of all,
Trek.
shut up.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Don't insult Star Trek here.
No, we're not getting on that subject.
Rachel, you got a Pearls of Wisdom.
Yeah.
I believe, honestly, for those who are like me and skeptic about all this stuff, I mean, honestly, don't let conspiracy theorists, such as everybody else here, tell you that you are like completely wrong and oblivious, because honestly, I mean,
Wear a monkey hat. The government can't mind control you.
don't wear a monkey hat and the government doesn't mind controlling you.
My Pearls of Wisdom is don't live in the past, don't live in the future, but live for the present.
Now, Robert, give yours.
And I would always suggest look out your peephole before you answer your door from now on, since you're watching these channels.
Like,
All right.
comment, subscribe.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.